Now, I love playing the bass, and that probably makes me a little bit biased because I think playing the bass is cool. But there's one thing cooler than a regular bass player, and that's a bass player who can sing and play at the same time. This is something I've never really been able to do, and I am in awe of any bass player who can. Now, I'm not talking about rhythmic, percussive single note grooves. I'm talking about simultaneously playing a bassline melody and singing a completely different vocal melody, a melody with its own timing and feel, all while locking in with the drummer at the same time, something I really struggle with. But today, I'm going to highlight and talk to some bass players who have no such problems. These guys can sing and play, talk and play, sing lead vocals, sing backing vocals, all while holding down the groove without missing a note and still looking as cool as anything. Hopefully we can find out some tips, how they do it, and if there's anything we can learn or take away from these players, something we can incorporate into our own playing or practice techniques. Welcome back to Perfect Purple Conversations. My name's Otis, and if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Oh, and please do me one favor. This episode is about reggae bass, so for the best experience, please make sure you have your earphones plugged in or you're connected to your Bluetooth speaker or stereo. Let's go. On paper, singing and playing bass at the same time may sound simple, but when you try to do both, you're actually asking your mind to run two things simultaneously. Two different rhythms, two different patterns, and two different melodies. Let me try and explain the science. Singing uses the language centers of the brain, the Broca's area for forming phrases and the Wennex area for understanding the same phrases. And for our motor skills, we have the cerebellum for timing, the basal ganglia for groove, and our motor cortex for movement or finger movement for bass players. Now, obviously, I'm not a brain specialist, but the point I'm really trying to illustrate is that these systems, these parts of the brain, naturally synchronize. They want to work together. Our voice wants to follow the bass line wants to follow your voice. So when you try to sing and play independently, for most people, the brain basically says, hey, hold up, can you just pick one, please? I can't do both. So you may ask, is the solution simply to learn to multitask? Well, the truth is, multitasking is a bit of a myth. The brain can't actually multitask. It can only focus on one thing at a time. So when we think of someone as multitasking, what their brain is really doing is switching focus back and forward between tasks very quickly. So if that is the case, how do bass players perform this skill of singing and playing at the same time? Now, there are some famous singing bass players: Sting, Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy, Paul McCartney. In fact, there's an exception to the rule, Mark King of Level 42. But generally, what you'll tend to find with these guys is that when they're singing and playing, they will simplify their bass lines to straight 16th single note grooves. But singing and playing reggae bass adds another layer of complexity. Because reggae bass lines are more melodic, not 16th note vamps, not repetitive strums like, say, a piano or guitar chop. Most reggae bass lines are syncopated, sometimes played behind the beat, and frequently the melody hook that everybody remembers, sometimes as much as the vocal melody. Lloyd Parks, Tony Gadd from Aswad, Barry Dredd, Jahmel Talliss Ellison from the Rassites, Derek Barnett from Sagittarius. These guys make it look really easy. So, to understand how this skill actually develops, I spoke to two of those bassists. These guys can hold down steady reggae bass lines, full of groove, full of feel, still deliver a vocal on top, be it lead vocals or backing vocals. Let's go and meet them. And here we are in the studio, and we have Barry Dredd and Talliss Ellison. Welcome, brothers.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming. We're going to show the viewers today how you guys are able to play reggae bass lines and sing at the same time. I've tried to do it for years, and it's something that I really struggle with. I've spoken about it in the video in terms of the brain functions and the different parts of the brains that are responsible for your motor skills, for listening, processing language, all separate compartments of the brain that are working at the same time. And some people are natural at it, some people have to work at it, and some people struggle with it. I struggle with it. So I thought it'd be interesting to see from two professionals that can do it really well to talk about how you do it. So I'm going to just speak to both of you, but the questions can really apply to both. So you both have been playing bass for many, many, many years. And I guess you both started, from what age did you start playing bass?
I started at the age 14.
14. And
About the same.
same. I'm probably a little bit younger than that. But so decades of experience. But when was the first time that you realised that you could sing and play at the same time?
For me, I never realised till someone else told me.
That it was a thing?
Yeah.
You just naturally?
Yeah. I started learning to play bass by playing songs that I liked.
Yeah.
So I would be singing them and playing, finding out how to play the bass line at the same time.
At the same time. Okay.
So and at that time I was teaching myself how to play bass. So it was just like, it was just natural.
Okay.
The songs that I like.
And yourself?
Well, for me, it was just being in a band. You know.
It's a necessity.
By them times you couldn't play music unless you was with somebody else.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So by the togetherness of having a band, and you have the lead singer did it, and every week you come rehearsal, and you must sing a nice chorus line, and you want to join in, but you can't join in. So every week I try fill in.
Yeah.
So eventually the neurons grow, innit?
Yeah.
You know
Make
what I mean?
connections.
So by the fourth rehearsal, you can start singing little harmonies. You know
but you didn't
mean?
find it tricky putting the two together?
Well, initially, of course.
Yeah.
Because when you start, you miss and you drop the bass line. You know what I mean? But after 3 rehearsals, you start getting together. You know, the neurons start good because you send out that message to your brain, say, I want to do that.
And that's early on in your career you was doing that?
Yeah. Because, you know, we have some lovely songs and you want to involve yourself, you rehearse and, you know.
So that's interesting. My next question is about whether it came naturally or you had to develop it. And I think you're saying you kind of developed it, whereas you're saying it just kind of just grew naturally from...
It grew naturally and development as well, because it's not every song comes easy, just like certain tunes you still have to learn the bass line and then apply the vocal to it differently.
And was there a song that you particularly remember that was your first time you had to do it, or it was just organic?
The first song probably would have been me singing Tony Rebel, Sweet Jam Dong, which is the Cherry on Baby.
Okay, yeah.
For me, I was kind of forced into it, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we was in a band now, you know what I mean? And the lead singer let me down. So we had shows, so I was kind of like, I could kind of half sing and play. So man, we'll do it, you know what I mean? So I went up there and I did it, you know what I mean? Made mistakes, but I held the band together, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But, you know, the drummer didn't want me to be up front because he said, well, basically I stand up there singing, it's like it's too static. I want a lead singer move up and down in the front. You know what I mean? So we just, all right,
they want a front man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the right song. I met them, the lead singer sing it.
So like I said earlier, people talk about splitting the different brain functions subconsciously. Obviously you can't do it deliberately, but there are different parts of the brain that are responsible for different parts of your being, your motor skills, language processing, timing, and all that sort of stuff. Do you process the bass when you're doing when you're performing a line with vocals? Do you think of them as a connected part, or are they separate?
They're connected because you got to work in the gaps.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's like a piece of piano music, left and right hand.
You have to know where you can fit in.
Yeah.
Because not only you're thinking about the bass line, but you got to think about the length of the notes and certain things that, you know, so that it still sounds correct. You know what I mean? While you're singing.
Right. Which is,
you know what I mean?
And yourself, Jahmel?
Yeah, I would agree with that very much. So, the thought it's a universal thought.
So it's holistic.
Yeah, both vocal, feel, everything. That's why I find that there's a bit of separate rehearsing and in the sense of mastering the bass line. Okay. Because once you've kind of mastered that bass line, you're able to start thinking, otherwise trusting yourself. Yeah. Because it's almost like muscle memory.
Yeah.
And your body's in a movement.
Right, so that's where I was going in terms of, is any of it autopilot?
Yeah, man.
Yes. Right.
That's definitely.
The bass line or the vocals or...
Oh, that's the bass line.
Bass line goes on
the bass is on autopilot.
So that's just muscle memory.
Because it's almost, there's a pattern.
Yes.
And in most reggae bass lines, there's a cycle going on.
Yeah.
And from you're in that cycle and your body's dancing, well, for me, I have to be dancing as well.
Wow.
But there's a movement that has to be taking place. It's like the whole body's playing. Is part of it now. You see me? And once you're in that motion, we're in now.
Right.
So now this is happening. The vocal's able to start delivering, speaking, singing, whatever, but this is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to have the bass line written on the table of your heart.
Yes.
You see me? I said, so once it's written there,
That's my problem.
yeah, you know, once it's there, then you don't have to think about that no more because it's already written. Now you have to just concentrate on the song. And as long as drum is tight, and you don't have to worry about the tempo and stuff, from you're not throw you off, then you're good.
So two things then. How can you make adjustments, or so if you're performing a song, singing it, playing the bass line, if the drummie does something or his feeling changes, do you adjust, or are you just on autopilot and whatever happens?
Yeah, man, you stick to your program, innit?
So if you're not syncing, there's nothing really you can do about it because you're...
Well, you'll feel it as well, as you were saying. So naturally, you're hoping that these things will happen because he can show you off. So it might get to a point where you might have to turn around where you should have been singing. You have to turn around now. Like for me, there's a dance that I might do. If it's dragging, you'll see me dancing forever. Like, yo, step up, and I'm not gonna stop until you get in line. Because whereas we're singing and playing, we can feel the tempo drop, maybe even more than the drummer. Because when you're singing, you can feel if your words are coming out slower than usual. You can feel the energy, your dance, everything. So it's like, yo.
True, because even if the tune I play too fast, me go and start singing slightly out of tune. Because I'm not feeling comfortable. So it can affect how I sing.
How you deliver.
Because it not drop right. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to fit that what is in your brain naturally into a space that is not where your brain take it there. So it probably change it up because you're on autopilot. I'm thinking I'm singing nice. It's on when me listen back. I say, but wait, me sound a bit. When I sound like how me supposed to sound, you know what I mean? But it's because the tempo or something wasn't right. That's why it's important, the kind of drummer you use. When you're bassy that sing. You know?
Right. So the point I was gonna say in terms of in research for this video, for this episode, I started to drill into what is it that's stopping me from being able to do it. And I realized I don't think I internalize bass lines. So if you've got a computer, for instance, you've got RAM and like the hard drive. So when you save something to the hard drive, when you turn off the computer, it's still there. But the RAM is only there while the computer's on. And when you turn it off, then it's gone. I think I operate in that RAM space. So I'm actively conscious of the lines I'm playing while I'm playing them, syncing them with the drums and adjusting my feel. So I'm constantly thinking or feeling or being sympathetic to what's around me. And I think to do that, I have to be in the moment. And because I'm in that moment, I struggle to think about anything else.
Yeah. But you see, what I would say to the eye is that, you was in a band. But I don't know if you was playing the bass during that time, right? But when you're in a band, that's what develops it. Because most man them was in band. Look at Elroy. Elroy was a wicked bassian singer because he was in a band. You know what I mean? Light Parks, all of them man,
you get to perfect it with your band, it's true.
It's the band that helps you.
That situation.
You see me, I said, so once you grow up and, with 10 years of singing and playing.
And that's the other thing, I've never been forced to do it or had to do it.
Exactly.
So I've never pushed myself to
you
develop
stay in
that
that
skill.
comfort zone, innit? You know what I mean? You got to stay where you're there. So it's not say you can't do it. It's just you haven't been pushed to do it.
Yes.
There is one song I did spend some time trying to do it, and I got close. And I tell you, when I got to a certain level of doing it, I felt like I could fly. It was amazing. It's almost like a gift. I say I put this gift that you guys have almost on a level as perfect pitch. Maybe it's because I can't do it either. It's something that I really look up to and aspire to. So in terms of your practice methods, if you've got a show coming up where you've got to sing and play a new song, how do you get to grips with it?
For me, it's mastering the bass line first. Like, there's been many songs, even with my group, the Rassites, where we've been in the studio and naturally recorded parts of them separately, recorded the bass, and then after I've gone and done a vocal differently. And show time's coming up, and I'm like, I'm going to have to learn how to play and sing this tune.
Exactly.
I literally have to learn how to play. So master the bass line, get your body into that autopilot, and start singing.
Okay.
You might make a few slips, but get yourself into it and get yourself in, and eventually, you're there. Practice.
And it's knowing you can do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, defeat his thing.
And it has to be done.
This, you know?
Yeah, no, it's not an option.
So you just slow it down and break it down?
No, there's no slowdowns really. It's just practice the same.
At real
tempo.
Real time.
But it's the homework before you get to rehearsals. So that,
It's having the bass line written on the table of your heart. That's very important.
On the table of your heart.
Yeah, once you got that there, then you can focus on your song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's easy.
Yeah, that's something to think about. So get the bass line on the table of your heart, guys. And then what's the hardest one you've ever had to do, or that you struggled with?
I would say I have a tune called Music, you know?
Okay.
And that was the first tune that I really had to, took me a while to, and that's really what developed me to that level. Because it's a band tune. Yeah. And, you know, it was a song I write. And as you say, you know, you write it normally, I forgot to sing and play. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, it's just practice until you get it. And once you're there on that level, and once you master a tune like that, then you know, say, any other simpler tune, you're gone. You know what I mean? You know? Because even doing Is This Love, playing with true vibes and always playing the songs. Yeah. You know, it becomes written on the table of my heart. Yeah. So now all I have to do is sing it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So you're not even really thinking about the line.
I'm not thinking about the line.
So that's like, I guess,
I just think about the tune.
It's a different. Yeah, you've moved that process of playing the bass into a different part of your brain. So that's like when you're walking and talking. You don't have to think about walking. That's just automatic. Or you're driving. When you learn to drive, you're the skills in one part of your brain. But when you've mastered it, you can talk and do other things. You're not thinking about driving because it's in a different part of you.
Exactly.
It's like part of the brain matters become inside your hands.
Yes. And I've never made that move from. I'm always in the RAM. I'm always active and in the present. Rather than letting it be just part of the music.
Put it this way: if you're a session musician, then you're going to learn different music all the time.
Yeah.
But if you're in a band, you're playing the same music all the time. Right. So eventually, them music they're written on the table of the heart, you can sing anything you want.
Very much so. Very true.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
You see me as a session man.
Banting
every week
is
you're
very
going
important.
to play different songs. You see me as a band. Yeah. It's the band is the thing that is really the formula.
Like regular rehearsals, regular going over them songs. Yeah, you're perfect then.
You see me as a...
So this was my next question, but I think we've kind of touched on it. With reggae bass, it's very much a lot of the time not on the beat. You kind of you're leaning back, you're holding sustaining notes. You know, if we were to write it out, it's not Western notation. It's the feel is so important. Whereas your singing may be on the beat. It may be a different tempo and feel. So you've got two different feels going on, which is, again, that blows my mind because everybody else is locked into their own feel. But to have to deliver two feels at the same time, is that something you're conscious of? Or you've never thought of, or is it considered?
It's considered, but within all of that, you said there are two different feels.
Yeah.
As a listener, there's one thing that makes it all one. It's the dance. Because those different feels you're hearing, and that's what creates that groove, that push and pull. Yeah. So now I'm in the mode of it. I said the movement's happening with the body. So if I'm holding back on the bass and still singing, but it's all one, isn't it? Yeah. It's just part of that. You have to just get into it. It's like, it's becoming one with the music. Yeah.
Synchronization.
Yeah, it's just becoming. If you think about it too much, it probably won't happen. The overthinking is what's going to make it be like, whoa, no.
I tell you how sensitive I am. If I'm playing bass, say I'm on stage and I'm dancing, I'm playing, I'm listening, and then someone might come up to me to tell me some information, or we're cutting the set short, or this, that, or your bass needs to turn up, blah, blah. Just listening to them, I have to wait for a few seconds, relax, and then let what they've said go into my brain. And that literally can take 2 or 3 seconds. And I'll process it, right. But don't ask me to speak. Even saying, all right, I can't even do that. I might nod or just go, I wouldn't be able to count while I'm playing bass beyond, unless it's exactly in the same beat. But to do something that's not connected to what I'm doing, I struggle to do it. I can't do it. If you, like me, struggle to do it, again, you've given me a lot of tips now, playing in the band, repetition and practice. But what would be the one key thing you would give to someone new to do it? Even if you've said it already, what would say the most key thing is to to take on board when you're trying to do this?
Well, you know, you gotta love your song, you know what I mean, and basically, you know, just know in your heart that you can do it. You know what I mean? It's to be determined enough to do it. You know what I mean? Because if you have any doubts about it,
Just like anything.
yeah, you know what I mean, it's not gonna happen, innit? You know what I mean? 'Cause we bring our vision to reality. So that's the way me look on things. You know what I mean? Me know what me visualize, me can make become reality.
You can see it.
That's how we write songs, innit? You know what I mean? You know, you write a song, it was in your mind, and then you bring it out. So if you feel you can do it, do it. You know what I mean? If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, you know what I mean? Because it's not necessary for everybody to do that. You see me, I say, it's not necessary for everybody to sing. Because, you know, like Family Man didn't need to sing because he had dietries there. You know what I mean? So, you know, so you don't need to do it. It's not something you have to do.
Like there's a saying,
it's just like, you know?
I forget who says it. If you think you can do it, or if you think you can't do it, you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, you're right.
Either way, you're right. And what would be your one sort of a bit of advice?
Master the bass line.
Right.
Like get that bass line to a level where you can close your eyes and not have to look at your fretboard and play. Whether you're visualizing your fretboard in your brain up here, because when you're singing, you won't be singing like this. You're gonna be like that. So you have to can see, like my hands like this, I can see my fretboard there. It's there. So I can see, although my hands moving, they might not realize, even when I'm looking up like this, I can see the fretboard.
You are looking at the fretboard.
I'm looking at my hand is seeing my fretboard. And your ears is sensitive to it, so you will hear when you make that little semitone out or whatever, and pull yourself back in position. But master the bass line.
Okay.
From mastering the bass line, you'll be able to take on, whether it be a conversation, as you said, or whatever. But having the bass line on lock, where
Can you do that? Can you just play and talk?
It's actually harder than singing, but I've had to do it quite a few times, like festivals. Someone's calling you backstage. Time and you're like, okay, all right, cool. And the dynamics going on, there might be an accent coming up, but because we played this set quite a few times, I know, so I can talk to you and be like, okay, boom, 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 and we're still going.
Or even just turning the line and just talking to the audience kind of thing.
That's it can, when it's rehearsed, I suppose. And it can happen even, because many times, man, like, you say, so it happens, compare work, But it's, once you're comfortable with your bass lines.
Okay. All right. Well, that's brilliant. Let's maybe do a few tracks where you can show me how you do it, show the guys at home some examples, and I will try my best to see if I can do it as well. Okay, that's enough talking. If you want to see Barry Dread and Jahmel demonstrate how to sing and play reggae bass at the same time, and I might even have a go myself, click here for part 2.